Hi, my name is Farron. Thanks for joining me today. I pull runes pretty much once a week, and they're for a few days span. And what the deal is I'm looking to share inspiration for the collective in order to assist in the shift that we're going through right now. And what I've pulled for today is a rune called Wunjo. Here you go. I'll take a picture of it too. And it's one of those positive runes that it basically indicates that what we've been working towards is happening. And this very much resonates with how I feel about what's going on. The hitch here is that we're in the middle of it happening. So it's one of those kind of keep going things, which keeps coming up, which, is a good thing. But what I'd like to kind of wind in here a little bit is that these past few days where we're coming out of right now, you might have noticed a lot of inspirations popping up and things that are very interesting to you, and maybe because of the erraticness of the collective and the abundant anger that everyone's purging, it might have been really challenging for you to pick which one you're going to pay attention to. Well, don't worry too much, because now we're moving into a phase where it's going to be a little bit easier to choose. And it's a short phase. It's just for a couple days. And what you need to do in this phase is directly pay attention to what it is that you want to bring in. And these are important things. These are not for frivolous items. It's something that you've been working on hard. It's connected to your heart center and is basically part of the manifestation that you're within. It's just that it's really nice to do these symbolic actions to lock us into the understanding. So there's a difference between understanding and really feeling it and working with it, right? So we're in that phase where you can at least learn a little bit about how to attract that. What you would want to pay attention to is anything that comes up that feels like it's in between where you are now and where you think you're going, or the thing that you're working on that's important to you. So it's like learning how to ride a bike or learning how to walk. A lot of the really cool spiritual people have been talking about this. It's going to come up in all different aspects. And in the days right after this, so, the tail end of this reading, we're going to move into a very constructive period, which is fantastic because it's coming right after you going, aha, I want to work on this. And then looking at the steps that you think are in between you and that thing in a positive way, right? So right after that, you might have to take some steps. That's what this is feeling like. And one thing to keep in mind, if you're energy sensitive, what's going on for you personally may not match up with what's going on around you. And this is going to be normal. It's going to be a theme probably for the next couple of years, but that doesn't mean that what's going on around you isn't going to affect you. So that's where you start to take into consideration your ability to connect to yourself and your discernment. If this is something that's interesting to you, let me know, because I have some videos that I can pop on for you. All right. Thanks for being here. Bye. The shift from a human doing a life to a human living with their heartfelt experiences. This is what I'm looking at now, and what I've noticed is that it's really hard to see the veil if you've been living behind it without realizing it this entire lifetime. I'm not talking about a costume-like veil. I'm not talking about the ego mask or the methods of hiding. I'm speaking about the control panel. It's been right there in front of you this whole time, and we've created an entire other system and placed it carefully on top of it. The distance between an energy-sensitive person and their true mode of being is vast, yet it takes a millisecond to cross. As an energy-sensitive being, you have two choices. Try to dismantle the control panel that is atop the motherboard, or realize that you've created both and choose to work with the person looking at these options. When you do, the fake one disappears because you are energy sensitive and you don't fit the archetype in which you've been trying to learn. This is why everything seems so foreign or that you don't belong. It's because you don't. But you do, it's just that there's a hitch. Is it possible you haven't yet welcomed yourself into this body and into this life? This is where a major shift happens for many people who call themselves empathic or sensitive. There needs to be a reprogramming of what your connection actually feels like. For me, the sensation of finding my true 0 point was so unfamiliar, yet somehow I had been there before. There's an identifying moment where I can remember this feeling, this sensation, but yet none of the details surrounding it. This is how I know there's a fullness in the nothingness.